Good evening and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad that you all have joined me tonight for a night of information, revelation, and change. We are back again. I told y'all we will be back here again on Friday at 7 p.m. I want you to like. I want you to comment. I want you to share this broadcast with somebody. Let them know that Whole and Beautiful is on and that everything is great on this Friday evening. How is everybody doing out there? I want you to send me just some thumbs up, some hearts up, just to let me know that you're out there. Maybe you can comment and say something, and I will respond. You know I will. Um, I just wanted to remind you all that I am continuing to do the different shows to interview different people. So if you have somebody in mind, just let me know. I have some people in mind and I'm waiting for some responses back from them. But you know what? Um, I want to just make sure that I get information to you. That's what my main thing is. I want to get information to you that's going to bring about a revelation, and hopefully and prayerfully it will bring about a change. So thank you for allowing me to come into your homes on tonight, on your radio, or wherever you may be listening in another country. I am glad that you're here and that you're listening, and I know that you're going to get something tonight that's going to help you and that's going to propel you, that's going to push you forward into being the person that you have been created to be. We are doing our couples conversations, and I'm still working on some couples, and I'm going to get them on. And we're going to just talk about relationships with them. We're going to talk about their relationship with each other and how they make things work, because everybody is different. Nobody is the same. So when you come into a marriage, or when you come into a relationship with somebody, or even a friendship, you have to learn how to work that friendship, and you have to learn how to work that marriage. You have to learn how to work that relationship, because you can't use a cookie cutter for everybody and expect them to be all the same. We're all different. We do things differently. And what may work for one household may not work for another. So we want to make sure that we are just listening. Maybe we can get some nuggets from somebody else, and maybe apply those things, or maybe it gives me an idea to help out my relationship, but not necessarily taking on everything that they did, but that may help me in my marriage. And I want to be able to get those information things to you also. Now tonight, um, I just wanted to talk to you about a simple word. And we all know this word, and we all hear this word all the time. With everything that is going on right now, you always hear this one word. And I am going to share that word with you on tonight. And we're going to discuss it. We're going to talk about it. If you have comments, go ahead and make those comments. And I, like I said, I will respond. And I will say something back to you. Yes. The word that I wanted to talk to you all about tonight, that word is aware. Being aware. And the reason why I say that it happens all the time, and that we're always doing that, is that we have so many different things that are out now, that it's like people are trying to make you aware of so many different things. I'm trying to do several things right here, guys, but it's fine. Um, they want to make you aware of different things. Like we have breast cancer awareness that is going on. They're getting ready to do all these walks, and all these campaigns are going forward for breast cancer. And then you have what I didn't know today is Children's Cancer Awareness Day. So they were talking about it on the news and trying to bring to people's attention about just awareness with children who have cancer. We have a domestic violence awareness that will be going on also in October, where people are making you aware of domestic violence. And I wanted to look at that word aware, because sometimes we hear words and we think that we know what they mean, and we just kind of go with the flow. And a lot of times we don't know what certain things may mean. So I wanted to um I wanted to share that with you all and let you know. Oh man, okay. I'm trying to share some things right now. I'm trying to do some stuff. I'm doing, like I said, multiple things right now. Let me focus in here. Okay. But anyway, I wanted to share this with you all about what the word aware means so that we can know what the word means, because a lot of times, and if you're somebody who knows me, you know that I love words. I love words. I have them everywhere. As you can see, I have words behind me. I have words like in different places where I look and I see that word, because those words encourage me and those words stay with me. Can be canceled out by good words. Those good words can cancel out those negative words. So I try to put encouraging words around everywhere. So whenever I'm looking around my home, whenever I'm like, sometimes I wear a t-shirt and it has words on it, it's going to be some type of encouraging message. Because why? Because I want to encourage me, but I want to encourage you too. So words are powerful, and it's even more powerful when we know what they mean, when we just don't assume that they mean a certain thing. So the word aware means that you have knowledge, that you have a perception of a situation or a fact. It's concerned. It means that you're concerned and that you're well informed about a particular situation or a development, that you are well informed. I was like, that stuck out to me, because it's not just, oh, I know about it, but it means that I'm informed about it. I'm informed about that particular subject, that particular situation, that particular thing that's going on. I am well informed about it. So, what I wanted to share with you all on tonight was that, are you aware of you? Are you aware of you? Are you aware of your surroundings? Are you aware of what's going on in your life? Are you aware with the changes that may be going on, like with your mental, with your body, with the way that you may see a thing? Saw you may have looked at some things early on in life that now you look at it and you say, I don't think that way anymore. Or you may be changing and you have not even been aware of the changes that's going on in your life, the good changes, um, the wonderful things that are happening, the awesome and amazing things that are happening in your life, and you're just kind of letting it like trail by as it was nothing. And sometimes we do that when we re- receive awards, or when we receive this great accomplishment. We've done this great thing and we don't see it as being great. We just kind of let it, we're not even aware of how great it was. It's like we don't have the knowledge, the perception that this thing is awesome and this thing is powerful and that it is great. We don't realize those things about ourselves. Sometimes we're more aware of people around us than we are of us. And we need to be aware of how we're thinking. We need to be aware of what's going on in us. We need to be aware of everything that is around us and on us and in us. So make sure that you're paying attention to you. We give attention to a lot of things. Sometimes we try to escape from being who we are, but embrace who you are, love who you are, and be aware of yourself. Be aware of those changes in you, whether they're good or not. If they're good, they're like, oh, this has changed. If it's something that you be like, oh, I need to change that, then change that. But you need to be aware of you. You need to be aware of your attitudes, your moods, what's going on, what brought this on, why am I walking this way, why am I doing this thing, what has happened to cause me to react or do this certain thing this way, and some things, like I said, are good, other things may not be good, but be aware of you, be aware of who you are, be aware of where you are in your life and where you want to go. Pay attention. If nobody else knows you, you should know you. You should know you better than anybody else knows you. You should be able to pay attention and pick up on things and know things about you that nobody else would grab a hold to. They shouldn't know it before you do. And sometimes people do. They're observant, they watch and they see and they say things and you're like, oh wow, how do they learn? Because they're paying attention. They are aware of who you are. They are aware of what's going on in your life, which you need to be aware of what's going on in you. You need to be aware about you. Just like we have all these different organizations that have this awareness that they want you to learn. They want you to have knowledge about it. Why? So you will come in and you will support. You will come in and you will do what you need to do in order to help them to push this forward to the forefront so that people are well informed about their particular area that they're talking about. And you need to be well informed about you. You need to be a support to you, and you need to be able to share about you to somebody else so that they can come alongside and help you and support you and push you, just like they would advertise an awareness about whatever thing that they're doing or whatever organization it is. They're making you aware of it for a reason. So you need to be aware of yourself for a reason. Why? Because I need to put stock in me. I need to push me forward. I need to be able to realize that I am maybe greater than what I was even thinking that I was. Because sometimes we don't think that we're that great. We don't think that we're that wonderful. We're so quick to criticize ourselves and put ourselves down and not build ourselves up and push ourselves forward. We shrink back when it comes to like compliments and building ourselves up. But then if somebody was to come and say some negative things, we just suck all the negative in. It's like, yeah, I could be better, or no, I'm not this. And, no, we need to concentrate and be aware, not only of what's going on around us, but what is going on in us. And be alert and be focused about you and know what needs to take place. Okay, I need to do this, so I'm going to do it. No, because when you're aware of yourself and you're paying attention to yourself, when you have those little things that happen like on the inside and you're like, oh, that's different. Maybe I need to see a doctor. Maybe I need to get that checked out. Or, oh, that's great. I'm feeling better. I'm doing better. I'm aware of every part of who I am. That is spirit, soul, and body. Okay? We need to be aware. One reason why I say that we need to be aware because of seasons. And I heard this like a couple of weeks ago, and it really hit me that sometimes when we're in a season, we like, let's say you're in the season of being in your 50s, you're in that 50 season, and people are trying to reach back and grab the 20s and live in the 20s. You're not in the 20s anymore. Stop, trying to relive back then and embrace where you are now. Why are you like 50 trying to reach back to 20? And why are you 30 trying to reach up to 50? Because you get some people that want to be older, or you get those teenagers or those kids who are like 7, 8 years old saying they want to be an adult. Then by the time they reach adulthood, they was like, oh, I want to be a kid again. We need to learn how to embrace every season that we're in. Be aware of the season that we are in and embrace it and love it. And what is a season? A season, when we look at it in it's the four divisions of our year. We have summer, we have fall, we have winter, we got autumn, where spring, summer, fall, and winter, which sometimes fall is called autumn. So you got all those four seasons, and then when the seasons get ready to change, because now you can feel it in the air that everything in the air is starting to change. So you're like, oh, fall is coming on in. Autumn is almost here, because things start changing in the atmosphere. And if you noticed, even in your life, things will begin to change in the different seasons that you move into. And you have to learn to embrace the season that you're in, not just reaching forward so much to the future that you can't live in the now, and not reaching back to what used to be that you can't live in the now. You need to live in the now and embrace. I'm not saying don't plan for your future. Yes, plan for your future. But you can't live over there in your future and then live today. You got to live out today. So embrace today. And I wanted to read this to you because it talks about seasons. I looked up the definition, and we talked about it being spring, summer, fall, and winter. But it says that it's marked by particular weather patterns and daylight hours. So it's marked by a pattern. So you need to even pay attention to your patterns, because if we don't realize what our patterns are, we might be getting results that we don't want. But it's all because we're walking in a certain pattern, and we always do that same pattern over and over and over again, and then we're expecting something different to happen. No, you got to recognize and be aware of you, where you say, oh, I'm doing this, I do this every single time, all the same way. Maybe I need to switch up that pattern. Maybe I need to change up that pattern. Maybe because I'm in this season now, because it's what could be that pattern. Maybe you dressed a certain way when you were in your 20s, when you was in your 30s, and you loved it, and that's who you are, that's the way you dress, that's the way you wore your hair and your different things. But now you're in your 50s or your 60s, and what you wore in the 20s, it's not going to suffice in the 50s and the 60s. Not saying that you have to be drab and not dress nice and not look nice, but you have to find your style of being okay. I'm going to embrace. I'm not going to be looking I'm not going to be a 50-year-old trying to look like a 20-year-old, or I'm not going to be a 70-year-old trying to look like I'm a 19-year-old. I'm going to embrace where I am. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to embrace where I am and love who I am. I'm going to be aware of the season that I'm in, and I'm not going to let this season pass me by sitting and being upset that I'm not in my summer season when I'm in a winter. Because how would it look if and I see people do it sometimes, and I was like, what in the world are you thinking? But you're in the dead of winter, and you got on shorts and a halter top, and it's snowing and sleeting, and hail is falling, whatever, and you're out in the middle of it with flip-flops on, walking in knee snow. You're walking out in the middle of the snow, knee deep snow, with flip-flops on. Come on, you dress for the season that you're in. So, and you wouldn't be in the middle of summer with 100 and something degrees outside, and you got on a jacket, you got on a hoodie, a jacket, and an overcoat, and gloves, and a scarf, and a hat. No, you dress for the season. So dress for the season that you're in your life. Embrace it, love on it, and be aware. Because when you are aware of something and you're paying attention, there is so much that you can get out of that one thing. There is so much that can come out of that one season that will literally bless your whole life, because you are embracing that season, because you are living in that season, because you are saying, yes, this is my time, and you're having fun with it, and you're embracing, and then you will notice that people want to be around you. Why? They want to be around you because you are happy with being you. it's like you got to show yourself friendly if you want friends, but you first got to show yourself friendly to yourself. You got to be friendly to yourself. And you got to keep moving, and you got to keep going, and you got to keep doing what you need to do. So I am just so excited about tonight and being here and just sharing everything with everybody. I don't know if anybody's out there, if y'all listening. I don't, because I'm getting messages and stuff. But yeah, we need to just continue to move forward and go forward. I was like, okay, no wonder. But we just need to continue to move forward and go forward. Some people are saying that they don't see me on. Okay, maybe she is looking at a different area. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep going here. But we need to realize that our weather patterns may change. The different things that may be going on may be changing, may be not the same as they used to be. So we need to embrace who we are, and we need to keep right on going, and we need to keep right on moving. Right now, like going down, I wanted to share this with you too. When I looked up seasons, it says resulting from the earth's changing position with regard to the sun. So the earth starts to change positioning. So as the earth is changing positioning, and with regard to where the sun is, then it's going to start getting cooler, or it starts changing up. Things starts to change. Things are not like they used to be, so they start to change. And that's what we have to look at even with our lives. Things are not like they used to be. And I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and they were talking about changes. I wish that this healing would come forth quicker, like it did when I was younger. Because when you get older, it's like, and you may take a little bit more time to heal than you did when you were younger. I hear people talk about it a lot, where they're like, you know what, my knees or my back or my arms or whatever, and they're dealing with different ailments in their bodies because they're in a different season. They're in a different season, and they are not in that summer season, anymore. They're in this fall season or this winter season, but it's resulting from you changing your position in regards to where you are right now. Our positioning with the sun, and not just the sun that we see in the sky, but the sun, Jesus, the sun. So we need to make sure that we have a relationship. We need to make sure that when these different seasons hit us and we are changing, that we embrace the change, that we don't fight it, that we recognize that even in this change, that something good, something powerful, something amazing can come out of this. And we have to realize our seasons are great. Every season that we're in is a great season. Every season that we're in is a season that we can go forward and move forward and be who we've been called to be. I want to share some things with you tonight. Also, I was going to read this story real quick about this guy who looked at different things that was around him. He was aware. He was aware of what was around him, and because he was aware of what was around him, he was able to help so many people. And because of him, we have a lot of things that we have today. And I think it's just so awesome that he shared like his knowledge, his wisdom. He had knowledge. He was so knowledgeable about what he had in front of him, and he wanted to share it with the world. And a lot of people overlooked what he thought was just the most powerful thing. He thought it was the most powerful thing he had ever seen, but a lot of people saw it as not a powerful thing, and they were like, well, what are you working with that for? Why are you even trying to harvest this or do that, but he was doing what he felt was going to be a great thing. So I'm going to share with you his story. We're going to talk about him for a few minutes. And for those, see if I can send her a message here. But we're going to read this story to you. And I want you to hear it. It's real short. And then we're going to just share that with you. And I'll be done. I will be done for the night. And we're gonna go from there. Okay. Let's see. Oh, all right. Let's read this quick story to you all, and then we're going to be done for the night. And I hope that something that I said tonight will help, will encourage. This story is talking about resourcefulness, and the caption underneath says, "Most weeds have a purpose." You got to be aware of what's around you, guys. It says that most weeds have a purpose, and a lot of times with weeds, what do we want to do? We want to pull the weeds and throw them away. It's like, get those weeds out of my garden. Those weeds gonna choke out stuff. Those weeds are no good. But even weeds have a purpose. Remember that as we read this quick short story. It says, I cannot offer you money, position, or fame. Booker T. Washington had written to George Carver. I offer you in their place work, hard work, the task of bringing a people from degradation, poverty, and waste to full personhood. As Dr. Carver's satchel in his hand stood looking at the dreary frame buildings and barren, dusty grounds of the Tuskegee Institute, Washington's words took on grim meaning. The soil was starving, drained of its nutrients by centuries of planting only cotton. But some things were growing here and there. Curiously, Carver set down his bag and began picking this leafy stalk, then that one, until he had an armful. Lad, he called to the boy who picked him up from the train. What is the name of this plant? That, said the boy, it's a weed. They're all weeds, Carver smiled, but every weed has a name, and most of them have a purpose. Within a few weeks, Professor Carver had 13 students and a task to set up a laboratory to test local soil and find ways to enrich it for farming. Only one hitch: there was no money to buy equipment for a laboratory. Carver had never let the lack of money stand in his way. God had given him a brain and he intended to use it. Marching his students to the school dump, he directed them to save everything possible: bottles, cooking pots, jar lids, wire, odd bits of metal, rusty lamps, broken handles. When the dump had been thoroughly searched, they scored the black back alleys of Tuskegee for china dishes, rubber, curtain rods, and flat irons. All this may seem to be junk to you, he told his skeptical students, but it is only waiting for us to apply our intelligence to it. Let's get to work. Think about that. We're going to talk about that one sentence right there. But under Carver's supervision, the students punched holes in pieces of tin to make strainers to test soil. Neatly labeled canning jars held an assortment of chemicals. Broken bottles were cut down and transformed into beakers. A discarded ink bottle with a cork and a piece of string made do nicely as a Bunsen burner. Gradually, the makeshift laboratory took shape in a and a valuable lesson was learned by the Tuskegee students that carried over into later years when they took their knowledge into the poverty stricken pockets of the South. Expensive or brand new equipment was not a requirement for success. Dr. Carver was never satisfied with only the obvious use of a thing, especially when it came to things in nature. He firmly believed God had provided all the people needed in the created world. God left it to humans to figure out the secrets locked within each plant, animal, or mineral. Too many, a peanut was just a snack and not worth growing as a crop. But with Dr. Carver's probing curiosity and scientific knowledge, the peanut produced butter, oil, milk, dye, salve, shaving cream, paper, shampoo, metal polish, stains, adhesive, plastics, wallboard, and more, for a total of 300 products. It was this variation that provided new markets for Southern crops and saved the South from ruin, all because he was aware of what was going on around him. He was aware of the plants, and he was like, I'm going to find out what this is for. And they applied their intelligence. He said, all of that they got together, he said that this may seem like it's junk to you, but it's only waiting for us to apply our intelligence to it. You may be looking at a situation or a circumstance, or looking at saying, you know what do I have? You know, I've made myself aware, and I don't think that I have much, and we're looking at different situations and circumstances, but it's all how we perceive it. We have to begin to look at it and say, you know what? All it's waiting for me to do is apply my intelligence to it. Apply my intelligence to it. I'm making myself aware of who I am and where I want to go. So if I want to go to this certain place, then I need to apply my intelligence so that I can make it to the place where I want to go. I'm going to embrace where I am on the way to where I want to be. And we have to begin to do that. We need to begin to do that. We need to trust that we can go and get this done, that we're going to be awesome with whatever we choose to do. We need to embrace our season. We need to embrace who we are. We need to make ourselves aware of the season that we're in. And we need to realize that broken crayons, they still color. They still do. They still make beautiful pictures. So that we have to realize, I got to make myself aware. Like I said, all this awareness going on in the world today, people making you aware of different things that are happening, and they're bringing it to your attention so that you can come in alongside, you can support, and you can be out there and be their cheerleader and help them raise this money or help them get to this point, because they've made you aware of the cause. You need to make yourself aware of who you are. You need to make yourself aware of where you want to go. You need to embrace you in the season that you're in, on the way to your next season. And when your next season comes, just turn that page to the next chapter. Don't try to stay in the middle of this chapter because, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. There's so much more out there for that next season, in your life. I tell people all the time, embrace every single day. Embrace the season that you're in. Enjoy it. Love it. Love it. There is something good in every day that you can pull out of that day. Even if you just have to say, you know what, God, I'm breathing today. I'm breathing. I can move my hands, I can walk from over here to over there, you know, simple things. I can see, I can hear, I can taste my food, I have my teeth, simple little things. Be aware, pay attention, because you are a great human being. God has created you to be great and to be awesome, but you need to acknowledge who you are. You need to be aware of who you are, aware of where you're going. Just make yourself aware of you so that you can support you can push yourself forward, that you are well informed about you. Because George Washington Carver was aware of who he was and aware that God had blessed him with this awesome intelligence to put these things together. What he began to work with, he saw more in it than just a snack. This peanut can be more than just something I just snack on in between meals. You know what? What else can we do with it? And I'm asking you, what else can be done with your life? You have so much more ahead of you. What else can be done by you? What other doors can be opened by you? What insight, what legacy, what mantle can you leave for somebody else, all because you pushed through and you really saw who you were? You became aware of who you are, and therefore it's going to make it better for somebody else, and it's going to make it better for you. All you got to do is take that intelligence that you have been gifted and apply it. Apply it to your life and watch your life begin to change. We are all intelligent human beings. We just got to tap into it. You just got to be aware of it. And when you're aware of it, begin to nurture it, allow it to grow, and embrace it, and watch your life change. Who would have even thought that the weeds that he was picking up out that field would amount to anything? But he said, even a weed has a purpose, even a weed has a name. So we have to realize that we have been given the awesome task of walking in this earth and living and being awesome human beings. And we can go as far as we want to go, and we can do as much as we want to do, and we can continue to grow and to prosper and to love ourselves in every single season that we're in. Don't despise your season. Don't despise it. Be aware of who you are and be aware of you, who you really are, and embrace it. Work on what you need to work on, push forward where you need to push forward, but be aware of you. You need to know you. So get to know you this weekend, all right? Get to know who you are. Pay attention to you. See what's going on with you. Apply your intelligence to that thing that you're saying, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. I don't know. No, yes, you do. Take the time to spend some time with you and get to know how I'm going to get this done. All it takes is you applying this, your brain, applying it to whatever task is set in front of you and saying, you know what? It's going to happen because I'm going to apply. I'm not just going to hear, but I'm going to do. Applying means that you're doing. I'm not just going to have all this knowledge and all this intelligence and not do anything with it. I'm going to be aware of me. I'm going to be aware of others around me. I'm going to be aware of what's going on. I'm going to be the answer to somebody's problem. I am essential to the equation. I'm essential. But guys, that is what I have for you tonight. I hope that it encouraged you. I hope that you become aware of you. I hope that you know that you can apply that intelligence that's on the inside of you to any situation or circumstance, and you will come out on the other side. That thing that you've been waiting to for that breakthrough is all in here. It's in here. It's already in you. Tap into it this weekend. Tap into you and who you are, and watch you flourish, and watch you grow, and watch you literally change things, not only for yourself, but for others. You're the answer. You are the answer to somebody's problem, to somebody's situation, to somebody's whatever they're going through. You are the answer sometimes for whatever you're going through, if you would just stop and be aware of you. Guys, I will be back here next Friday at 7 p.m. ready to share with you, ready to continue to let you know that whole and beautiful is not just your destination. It is most definitely your journey. So come on that journey with me every week, Friday at 7 p.m. and then again on Saturday at 4 p.m. If you miss any of this, tune back in tomorrow at 4. Let somebody know that whole and beautiful is on. Listen to it, but not only listen, take what's being said and apply it to your life. Guys, I will talk to you again next week, Friday at 7 p.m. Until we meet again, I love you and have a great and awesome weekend. Become aware of you this weekend, okay? All right, guys. Good night. Love you much. I will talk to y'all